They say the sea remembers. Every wave that rises carries echoes of what once was, and every current hides the ruins of worlds forgotten. Among those drowned worlds, none is more mysterious than Atlantis, the city of wonders swallowed by the ocean in a single day and night. Many have spoken of its full philosophers, storytellers, and dreamers. But few tell the tale of the man who claimed to see it with his own eyes, a humble fisherman who lived to remember the day Atlantis sank. Our story begins on a quiet morning with the sun spilling gold across the water. A lone fisherman casts his nets into the endless blue. He was no king, no warrior, no scholar, just a man whose life was tied to the sea as his father's had been before him. His small boat drifted near the edges of a vast island that shimmered with towers of white stone and golden walls, a city unlike any other. He had heard whispers of this place, of Atlanteans who harnessed powers beyond mortal men, who built temples of marble and crystal, and who lived with a pride that rivaled the gods themselves. To him, it was just a story until that day. The sky suddenly changed. Dark clouds gathered as though the heavens themselves were furious. The water beneath his boat shivered, trembling not with the wind but with something far deeper, something rising from the earth below. He looked to the island, and what he saw would be forever burned into his soul. The ground shook violently, towers toppled like children's toys, and flames split the horizon. The mighty city cried out as if it were a living thing in its death throes. The fisherman clung to his small vessel as waves taller than mountains rose from the abyss, crashing down and pulling stone and people alike into the hungry sea. He heard the sound of thousands of voices swallowed in a single, terrible breather chorus of despair vanishing into an eerie silence. Some say the gods punished Atlantis for its arrogance, for reaching too far, for daring to rival the heavens. Others believe it was the earth itself that turned against them, shifting and breaking until the island could no longer stand. But for the fisherman, this was no myth, no distant tale of warning. It was a memory being etched into his very bones. He rowed with trembling hands, his heart breaking as the sea consumed the last glimmers of the golden towers. By nightfall, the city was gone, swallowed whole, leaving only churning waves where once an empire had stood proud. When he finally returned to the shores of his homeland, no one believed him. They said no city could vanish so completely, that no power could be so cruel. Yet his eyes carried the unmistakable weight of truth, and his words, passed from mouth to mouth, became the first whispers of the legend of Atlantis. He lived the rest of his days with the sound of the waves in his ears. Each one a haunting reminder of the night he survived what an entire civilization could not. Centuries later, philosophers like Plato would write of Atlantis, of its immense wealth, its profound wisdom, its fatal pride, and its cataclysmic downfall. Perhaps they had heard the echoes of that fisherman's tale passed like driftwood from one generation to another, or perhaps they too listened to the sea, for the sea never forgets. It holds its secrets in the deep, waiting for someone to listen. Today, when explorers dive into the crushing depths searching for Atlantis, they are chasing not only stone and ruins, but the memory of that one man who saw it all vanish. The fisherman remains nameless, faceless, a ghost in history. But in his story, he stands as the sole human witness to the most haunting mystery of the ancient world. Atlantis may be lost, but through him its final breath was remembered. And maybe that is why myths endure, because even when empires sink and cities vanish, a single voice, a single witness can keep their legacy alive against the tide of time. If this story of the fisherman who saw Atlantis sink has stirred your imagination, then subscribe to Refound Legacy to journey deeper into the forgotten tales of the past. Share this video with those who love ancient mysteries and leave a comment with the legend you wish to hear next. Together, we will dive into history's greatest secrets and bring them back to the surface. Thank you for watching.